This small trailer packs a huge punch and has all the great features that you would want for an affordable price. This is the brand new 2025 Jayco 175 bunkhouse. Now the great thing about this trailer is with it being a smaller model, it's going to be able to be pulled by a majority of bigger SUVs or smaller trucks, and it's going to allow you to be able to extend your camping with features that we'll go over later on in this video. But let's go ahead and start off on the front. So one of the major things that I want to point out is obviously you have your diamond plate going across the bottom, which is going to be for rocks that get kicked up to help protect that section. But then you do of course have your metal siding and framing with the standard Jayco symbol across the front half. And then below that is something I really want to focus on. So you have this A-frame right here. And the great thing about this A-frame in particular is one, this A-frame is going to be built integrated into the rest of the unit. So the great thing about that is what you might have heard in the past or about other trailers is they have where there's multiple points of welding. Rather, this one is just one continuous piece. And the great thing about that is since there's not two parts, it's not going to ever bow or break during the test of time. Also, it does give you a much more rigid ride, which is going to allow for you to pull it and not have to worry about there being flexing all throughout your unit. And the other great part about that is with it being an integrated A-frame, all the materials and components that are built are specific to this floor plan in each one that they build. So that's another great thing, that they're not cutting corners and they're still giving you the quality of when you're actually getting into one of these trailers. Now, when we go over into the side of this unit, what you'll see is a little peek at what's inside of this trailer. What you'll notice is this flooring right here is all one continuous piece. It goes throughout the entire unit. It goes from here all the way to the back, and you'll see that it goes underneath this lip right here where it's preventing you from having water getting underneath, but also it's going to be a scratch resistant material as well. And you'll see that the shiplap, which we'll get to later, goes inside of the unit itself. So it starts here and it goes all the way up, so it's one full piece altogether. Now, something I like to point out as well is this is a look at the construction of the Jayco floor plan. So you'll see that they use real plywood rather than using OSB. And the benefit of that is this plywood is going to be a lot more rigid, is not as soft, so it keeps you from having flexing in the flooring and also bowing effects with the rest of the material. But this is the same grade of material that they're using throughout the floor plan of this unit. So underneath here is grade 2 plywood. So that grade 2 plywood is going to be waterproof, so you can put water on top of it and it'll just roll off the top, which is going to help for if you ever do get a leak, it's not going to soak into that wood. Now, not only that, but you'll see these pieces right here, they're built 16 inches on center, so that's going to be the same quality that you would have in a house. So it's going to be built with a much more powerful floor plan. It's going to be effective in the long run on holding its value as well. Going to the side of this unit, you have your nice big awning that goes all the way across. You do have LED lights under there. You get 2 Bluetooth speakers, and then you get this major stairway right here, which is going to have a huge first step. So whenever you're coming out of your trailer, maybe you're a little groggy, haven't had your coffee, you're going to have a first big step before you get to the rest of the way down, as well as you have a nice big arm right there, which is going to be able to be grabbed when you're going in and out of the trailer. Now, something else I want to point out is you do have these lifted tires right here. So the springs are lifted. You get a much more rugged look, so you can go in and out of austere land, as well as what you'll notice right below, there's little components right here. This is all underneath the trailer. This is an enclosed underbelly. So you're gonna have your heating source underneath there to prevent your pipes from bursting, but also to help little critters from not being able to get inside there. Then right here on the back, I'll point out as well, you have a little spot right here for a propane hookup. So if you wanted to do a little griddle right out here, you simply plug it in and it'll be able to go underneath this actual awning as well. So let's go inside of this trailer so we can go and look inside at the rest of this floor plan. Now, before we get into the rest of this floor plan, if you've liked this video so far, consider leaving a like and subscribing so you can get more content like this on how to buy a trailer the right way and the right trailer for you and your family. But let's get back into it. So when you go and look at this trailer right here, one of the big things that might be small to some people, but I think is a big deal, is they use these full-size RV queens. So instead of it being a shorter queen where your feet might fall off if you're a taller individual, these ones are a lot longer, and they're the standard size that you would have in a house. So you're gonna feel better when you're sleeping on this bed, because if you are a taller person, you're gonna be able to not feel like you're falling off, but also be able to rest your feet on something without sleeping in a fetal position. Now, a couple things that I will point out on the top here is, one, there's the shiplap from before, and as you can see, it comes all the way up, even up into there, going into the roof system. So you know it's all one continuous piece that is flexed together, and it is attached to the walls there. So you know that you're gonna have that nice appearance, but also it's gonna have the rigidity that you want. You got his and her closets going across, and you got a little spot right there where you can buy those little boxes or storage things from Target and just put them up in there. Something to point out too is this, as most of the Jaycos are coming with, is a solar package. So this package right here is basically going to give you one solar panel, and it's going to be a 200 watt. So you're going to get a nice big solar panel, plus you're going to get a charge controller, which is 30 amps. So what that means is, instead of it being a 15 amp solar controller where you can only have one solar panel, you get a 30 amps. So if you ever wanted to add a second one plus an inverter, it's as simple as just getting a new solar panel and getting an inverter, and that's it. You don't have to get a new solar controller. So that's set up for that. And then you also get the 2-year, 3-year warranty on the Jayco. So all the material that you're going to see throughout this unit is all going to be backed by its 2-year manufacturer warranty, and that's from the front to the back of the coach. Major malfunctions from the manufacturer, and then you get your 3-year structural warranty, which is going to be your it's going to be your sidewalls, it's going to be your flooring, your roofing, minus the membrane. The membrane is a lifetime limited warranty, so that membrane, as long as you own the trailer, will be covered underneath that. But aside from that, all the structural components, such as your frame, will be covered underneath it. Now, you get these little plug-in spots here. So a cool thing with these being plugged right into these sections is they're set up for people who may want to use CPAP. So like I said before, you got the solar on board, so if you wanted to, you can add a second solar panel plus an inverter and simply be able to plug in your CPAP right there and be able to run it without the risk or the fear of it going off because of the power being lost. And that's going to give your batteries a charge. It's going to give the inverter, is going to allow you to run off your batteries purely rather than being plugged in. So that's a great little spot right there. And then you got your type A USB connections right there to charge up some phones or tablets as well. Now, underneath this bed, what I was talking about before is they use plywood all throughout this unit, and they don't skip it for underneath the bed. So you get an actual piece of plywood right underneath there. You get these very beefy struts for if you put a lot of bedding on top of your bed, it could pull it down. So these struts are going to help it so you don't have to hold it up, especially if you're someone who's tired after long days of work or camping. You don't want to have to be picking this and holding it up with the fear of it falling down. So you get these nice big struts in here, and then inside you get some more storage beneath as well. Now, going into the kitchen section, what you will see is in this kitchen section, they have a beautiful setup with the farm style look. And all these drawers that you see are all real wood. They're going to be screwed and glued into the actual system, as well as the wall has extra studding. So every single one of these pieces, you can't see it, but I'm shaking the unit right now. And all I'm doing is holding onto this and pulling it. So if you were to pull that on another unit, it would rip out. And we don't want that happening. So they put these little back pieces right here and attach them into studs on the other side of these walls. And then if you want to look a little bit more inside, you'll notice that this is all real wood attached inside there as well. And then they got this paint over the top of it to give you that more farm style appearance. And these are soft close drawers and cabinets as well. Now, a huge benefit of the drawers on these Jaycos is these drawers are rated for 70 pounds. So something that I would point out to people is, when you're driving down the road, this thing's like an earthquake on wheels, so it'll be constantly shaking. But on these ones, you can put quite a bit of weight in here and not have to worry about them coming out as you're driving down the road. Like as I'm doing this, you'll notice that it just kind of stops and it's stuck right there. And it's because they have a heavy hinge system plus this very durable wood that's attached all throughout the unit. Then you have your basin sink with your little water spout right there. You get a 2-burner stove. You get the new Envision line, and this is going to be on your refrigerator, your microwave, and your hood. So you get the new Envision line on the hood, the microwave, which is a reflective surface. And they got this little locking mechanism, which I think is pretty great. It's nice and simple. You just open up your refrigerator, close it, and it locks up without having to do that extra piece. And inside of these, you do have a 12-volt refrigerator. And the main benefit of these 12-volt refrigerators is, one, they run off of one solar panel, as well as when you plug them into the back of your truck and you're towing them down the road, they're going to stay cooled the entire time. They cool down in about an hour, as well as they're a lot easier to fix because they're pretty much less work overall since they're electric rather than the old gas and electric. You know, you got different little hoses going in for the actual propane. So this is a lot more simple and easy to use. Now, going over into this section, what we'll see is you have these pieces not only stuck into the ground right here on these tables, but it is also attached to the wall. So you're getting extra coverage on connections to not only the floor but the wall, so this thing's not going to be rocking around as you're driving down the road and potentially breaking over time. And they also use performance fabric on the cushions here, so these cushions are going to be a lot softer, but they're going to be easier to clean. And something that I like to point out to customers is whenever we look inside of these, you just simply open it up and notice how this is that nice white thick foam. It's very dense and it's not squishy like the yellow ones like you'd see on those old-fashioned A-crate mattress toppers. So this is going to be a lot more dense of a foam, which the main benefit of that is when you're sitting on your actual seat, your butt is not, or your tailbone is not going to be resting on the wood beneath it, because there is wood underneath it as well. So they definitely did not skip corners on simple things like that. You got more storage up across the top, as well as a Bluetooth speaker, which is going to connect to not only one zone inside, which is right here, but the other zone that's outside. So if you want to listen to one song inside and a different one outside, you can, because, you know, some people don't like the same music. And then you do have a spot for your TV. But finally, when we go back into this area, it's going to be your bathroom. In your bathroom, I really like how they went with the full bathroom effect. So one, you're going to have a toilet right there, but something that you might not be able to see, but there's quite a bit of room between the toilet and the door. So if you're a taller individual, you don't worry about your knees hitting on that door. It's actually going to be enough room where you can sit there and be comfortable as you're sitting in your bathroom. And then you've got a spot for a little trash can or some more toilet paper. You got some linen closets right here for towels and whatnot. And then you've got your full sink. You got more storage underneath. And then you've got yourself a mirror so you can get ready during the day. Not only that, but this does come with a instant water heater. So this is a tankless water heater setup right here. You can see it's a Suburban setup. So all you need to do is just simply turn it on, turn it up to the temperature that you want, and then you'll be able to have that heat source at the same temperature, whether you're washing your hands or you're taking a shower, as long as you have propane. So it's endless as long as you have propane. It will shut off at about 20 minutes because it's a safety feature, and it'll turn back on because they just want to make sure that nothing's getting too hot. Finally, in the shower area right here, the great thing about the Jayco shower box itself is right underneath here, you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm just going to jump on top of this, and it's not going to have that bouncing effect. So usually there will be some flex underneath here, but what they have is that each 4 corners they have a block, and then they have wood running all around it. So you have a solid piece when you're stepping on it, and you don't get that trampoline effect as you're taking a shower. The other big thing about that is the benefit is at the corners here, if you have that flexing, you could potentially get some cracks and leaks in the silicone that's around the bottom edge. So with this being more structurally sound, you're not going to have to worry about that. As well as you have some storage for soap and whatnot. And then you've got a little sunroof right here, which is going to help with taller individuals. Are going to have a little bit more room to be able to stand inside of here, because if you're about 6'2", you're going to be able to have your head sitting in there. And then yes, of course you'll have to bend down, but at least you'll be able to fit inside of this actual shower. Now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. This being one of the brand new Jaycos, I'm super excited for all the people to get the maximum amount of function out of it because it does have this great material build out, but also the 2-year, 3-year warranty. It's a great thing for families who are wanting to go out camping, but have all the stuff that they need with the rugged look and all the safety features that they might want on a trailer. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.